Hey, what's up guys? My name is Moda and welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about how ChatCCP just tanked this market. We'll give our brief thoughts on this whole DeepSeek AI. In reality, we're going to focus more on the bigger picture, and that's this dip that it caused, right? Because it didn't just affect the Nvidia stock and the S&P and the NASDAQ. It pretty much affected all assets, including crypto, right? So created a lot of good opportunities that are still here in many cases. We're going to talk about how we took advantage, how we're looking at it, how we're playing it, and why it's important to look at these things, okay? So if that sounds good, guys, stay tuned. Let's get right to this thing. So before we fully get started, none of this is financial advice. None of this is here, I want you to buy this, do that. That's something you got to do. When I do these videos is just kind of cluing in and how I look at the market, right? As you guys know, yes, this is a huge mining channel. We talk about mining a lot, but as you guys know, especially the guys who watch these like goals update videos and all those, I'm also a huge buyer. I'm a huge crypto proponent in general in all aspects, whether it's mining, whether it's AI narratives, whether it's DeFi, whether it's AI agents, DePIN, airdrop farming, whatever it is, I'm most likely in some capacity into it, right? And I know some of you guys are strict on the mining side, mining only mining coins, that's all you mess with. That's cool, right? I'm not here to try to persuade you, but for those of you guys who do want to open your eyes to a little bit more, because in reality, a lot of my personal success from this, not on the YouTube side, but I'm talking about crypto stacking as a whole, has been from the buying front, right? I tend to view mining completely differently than most. My personal viewpoint is just a better way to DCA. That's, to me, that's all it is, right? It's a easier, to an extent, more efficient way to DCA. I'm able to expense the hardware, expense the electric, and every month, that's why I limit myself to the capacity that I have, because that's the amount, if I didn't have that mining hardware, that's the amount I would just be DCing into the market. But to me, it 1,000,000% makes more sense to take advantage of all aspects. Don't put yourself in that little box that, oh, I'm a miner, this is all I do, or oh, I'm an investor and this is all I do, right? And it makes sense to take advantage of any and every opportunity, which there are dozens and dozens and dozens in crypto. The biggest piece of advice I'll give you, find your niche, right? In reality, it is way too much to focus on every freaking aspect. For me, it's a huge hobby, so I am kind of there, but I tend to focus more on the ones that really pique my interest, the ones that I'm either very familiar in that segment, in that industry, or that just has my attention, something that I'm into, whether it's Web3 gaming, whether it's DePIN, whether it's this or whether it's that. I'm just here to stack coins by doing it pretty much, as I've said from the beginning, for the least amount of that dirty fiat. That's the whole goal here. So again, whether it's mining, staking, DeFi, airdrop farming, whatever it is, that's where my focus is going to be, right? So when things like this just happened right now with this whole DeepSeek AI and the market tanking, when I see opportunities, I'm going to jump on them, right? And I'm going to use my expertise and my knowledge from being in these niches to take advantage of these things, right? So that was a big thing for us, right? That's something we've done over and over back in like 2023. This is why this bear market was so lucrative for us, is because, again, from a lot of times of buying the coins, right? I didn't have too many GPUs at the time and I have my ASICs, but I'm still fully closely following the GPU mining market. So when we saw those opportunities where market caps were extremely tiny in 2023, there were a lot of 10, 15, 20x's all over the place from a lot of those coins, right? And we took advantage of those. A lot of it was, yes, some of it was mining, but a lot of the real gains were made from buying those coins during those opportune times and then learning how to take those profits and then reinvest those profits and then getting those and now reinvesting something else. Again, taking profits, take it out, reinvest, either invest into more coins, buying other dips, or buying more hardware. And in reality, that's what allowed me to grow to where I'm at right now. And this is why whenever there's opportunities like what's going on right now, which currently right now it's this whole DeepSeek AI, but whether it's that, whether it's another black swan and a gray swan, another big news event, when I see things like this, when I see opportunities like this, I'm going to take advantage, right? And I know some of you guys don't like doing that, and that's perfectly fine. That's totally up to you, and that's a decision you got to make, because in reality, you have to really be in there to kind of see if it's a good time to buy, right? Because there's been other times where people have bought and you got wrecked, homie. You just bought the top and now you got super wrecked, right? When I'm buying these things, it's because I feel the risk to reward is good. Will some of these go lower? Absolutely. It's possible they go 90% lower from even where they are right now. 100% possible. Some of them will even go to zero, right? Especially our higher degen plays. But it's risk to reward, right? There's going to be certain coins that I have way more confidence in, and certain coins that are just going to hang on to for literally hours, right? Oh, that's how I play my meme coins, for example, right? I know a lot of you guys got wrecked with that Melania coin, but I stick with my plan, right? Which, if I get a quick 3x, I'm out, right? So I got in under $4, sold at 12 with Melania, I got hit my 3x, and I was out. It could have gone another 10x from there, or it could have gone to like where it did end up going. I think it's down like $2 or something. And that's the game you have to be willing to play if you're going to jump in those things, right? You have to kind of be disciplined, understand what you're getting yourself into. Again, if you're buying the coin, that doesn't mean buy anything, buy this, buy that. If I'm buying something, I already have a game plan. I already have an exit strategy. I already know what the purpose of that coin is, right? So again, whether it's this DeepSeek AI, whether it's China taking over time, whatever ends up happening, I'm kind of ready for these things. I already plan out what coins I want to buy, what narratives I'm into, how much of that coin, what price points I want to buy at, and just have that money ready, right? And then I know a lot of people's complaints right now is like, oh man, I've been buying the dips, I don't have any money left. This is why we take profits with a lot of things. Like a good example, a lot of my DCA money right now is the 12 SOL I was able to make right now off of that stupid Melania coin, right? So took that profit, now I have some cash, I took profits from other coins, have that cash available, now I'm going to dump it back in. Now these prices are so much lower on a lot of these coins, right? So to me, that's just my strategy. I play both sides. I'm definitely on the mining side, definitely heavy on the investing side also, right? Which is a big part of even the little moniker with the name was mining stacker, stacking coins. I'm a miner who stacks coins by any means necessary, right? So that's just the way I play it. Again, that doesn't mean for you to do this or for you to do that or for you even look at any of these coins I'm looking at. This is just what I'm doing because I'm into these coins. I'm into these niches. I'm following these things closely, and this is where I see value. Find your niche, right? Whether, again, it's DePIN, you're a huge gamer, you're into Web3 gaming, there's a lot of deals all over the place. But to really see value, you gotta be in those ecosystems to see these things early as they come up. Okay, and another big thing for me, for example, is looking at narratives, like following a game plan, looking at narratives, looking at trends, and seeing what's going on. Like me, I made my decision pretty early what I was going to invest heavy in, and luckily it did bang out. One of my biggest things for any guys who've been watching since the beginning of this thing was adoption, adoption, adoption. The goal for the coins I wanted to stack were coins that were actually going to get used, utilized, and adopted, right? So that's a big reason that we bought so heavy into Solana these past 2 years. And in reality, it's also one that I was extremely familiar with already because it's one that we purchased and did extremely well the previous cycle, right? So when you see those things, when you're into those things, when you're in those ecosystems, when you actually use those chains, this is another thing. Actually use the chain and see how you feel about it. There's been many coins that, okay, this one looked appealing, I think I'm going to invest in it, and then actually go in to use it, and it is straight trash, right? A good example with Polkadot. Polkadot at one point, so cheap that I was like, okay, you know what? If it goes in even half of previous all times, it should be good. Started playing around with the DeFi system, trash, right? So then at that point, completely changed my mind, right? And this is totally where it's going to be up to you, okay? So for example, right now, the talk of the town is what? This whole DeepSeek AI, this is what crashed the market. But to me, the bigger picture is that it's extending this AI narrative even more. It's already been the talk of the town these past like 1.5, 2 years. And now it's essentially, in my opinion, guaranteeing it's going to be the narrative, the remainder of this bull market, right? So it makes me bullish on the coins I do have. It makes me want to invest more into that niche if I'm not already there, okay? So we saw all the stuff with DeepSeek. I'm not going to go into, I'm sure you are very familiar. but we do see what I'm saying. Well, the reason I'm saying I think it's going to be extended now is because now is definitely 100% going to be a battle between the US and China over AI supremacy. We know Trump wants to win. He just announced that Stargate project a few days ago, that $500 billion investment. What happens a few days later? This whole DeepSeek AI. And then also what gets announced just a few days ago that China is also prepares a 1 trillion yuan AI plan to rival Project Stargate. Okay, so it's, to me, again, it's definitely just extending that narrative. It's gonna be a thing between this, AI agents, the AI narrative in general. It's just guaranteeing that it's going to be a thing the entirety. Because sometimes some of these things only last a couple months and then it's on to the next thing. This, to me, is going to be huge, as we've known already for the past year and a half, 2 years, right? It's only going to continue to grow and get bigger in every capacity, whether it's this, physical AI, like there's a whole bunch of layers to this also. And that, to me, is also what, again, it's guaranteeing that narrative for at least the remainder of this bull market and probably going on beyond it, right? Another big narrative lately, we'll see if it happens, is the possibility of US-based cryptos being exempt from taxes. This can be major if it were to happen. Not only is it going to benefit us, for us who are already invested in those and are already kind of planning to pay a ton of capital gains, which is something I'm already preparing for, which I would suggest, especially a lot of you guys who got in early, to kind of be ready for that tax bill if you're planning on taking massive profits this year. This would be huge though, right? Also because this would get a lot more people involved also, especially a lot of more institutional money, because this would be mega, right? So we'll see if this one happens though, but when I do see something that's like hitting a lot of check marks, it's going to open my eyes to that project even more, right? Now, because of this recent dip, there's a lot of deals here, right? And just because, again, there's a dip, I follow certain coins extremely closely. I look at those prices. I already have price points. I already have amounts I want to buy if it comes to those prices. And just because we do have a decent dip right now, doesn't mean that it's going to be over, right? We can have a good price now, and then tomorrow goes down another 20%, another 20%, and a week from now it's down 90%. Possible. Right? Not extremely likely at this point in the cycle, but very possible. We can go down right now, and it's already happened, right? I made a similar video actually like a month ago. Decent prices, and some of these prices are already lower now, right? And some of them already met another threshold, so I'm buying a little bit more, right? Again, using those profits that we've been taking from other coins, or from some of these meme coins, some of these others. Again, we flipped that Melania for a quick 3x, reinvesting those profits now, yesterday morning, right? For you guys who caught that tweet, if you were up early, pretty good deals, and I bought a good chunk of stuff, right? So let's look at some of the stuff we did look at. One was Octaspace, and this one already did kind of recover a little bit. Is it going to fall back? Could be. We did buy some at like 89 cents sometime last month or a few weeks ago, and then recently, once I saw it go into the 70-cent range, bought some more. Right? Luckily, it did go up a little bit today. It could dip again. I'm not banking on it like, oh man, this is the greatest thing ever. Did I go extremely heavy? No. Did I buy a good chunk? Couple $100, right? And I'm already mining it on top of that. And it's one I'm just going to continue to accrue if the price is right. Why? Because there's upside. Rank number 953, $35 million market cap. Tokenomics-wise, looks good. Circulating supply is currently 36 million out of the 48 million max supply, which is extremely good for such a newer coin. So this one is checking a lot of the boxes. It's in the AI rendering niche. So definitely good potential there. And as far as why it's a good price, why I see it as a good price, is because the last time we were under $1 was well over a year ago, right? It was, or not well over a year ago, but about a year ago. It was last February, right? So when we're hitting yearly lows, at this time, I'm probably buying at least a little bit, right? Especially if it's a coin that, again, is already in the portfolio. This one was another allocation, and again, I'm already budgeting for it, right? Another new entry, which is, again, right, this is one we've stacked on and off for years and years now. This is one I did sell off completely a while back. Did not hit this glorious peak up here. Did sell like $1.10 or something like that is when I completely exited. And at that point, it was a 3.5x. We rolled it into another coin and some other projects that did go up multiples, did render us well. The reason we're highlighting this one right now is the current price. Price is extremely appealing. It is down to 46 cents. This is just about pretty much a yearly low. This is not as low as, it's not a bear market low though, right? We have to go to the max chart. When we were buying before we flipped, it was in this 30-cent range. It was between 28 to 32 cents. That's when we picked up a lot of it. But currently at 46 cents, it's a US coin, AI narrative. The reason we're so focused right now specifically on the AI narrative is because of what may happen here in about 6 weeks if we get another AI pump with that NVIDIA conference. Number one, AI is already in the air. We're already talking about it. The speculation is only going to increase. Again, March 17th was a very important day for these AI coins because, again, that's the day of that NVIDIA show, and that's when a lot of them peaked, right? So even if we just hit this yearly peak from that AI show, $1.63, that's a damn near 4x, right? Will we reach that peak again? Maybe. In the long term, I believe it will. Long term wise, does have good potential. Last bull market hit well over $3. Although their peak actually was later. Theirs was significantly later. Theirs was kind of a weird one in that sense because theirs was January 22 versus most of them were November 21. Although this time, though, much bigger narrative. The AI narrative is huge. It's something they've been working on for a long time, which is also one of our biggest complaints because it's taken so damn long to get products to market when there's these other smaller no-name coins out of nowhere building a fully established working marketplace in what seemed like months, right? So this is one that is on the list, one that we did buy, one that, again, it's not like we sell these dips and we're all in. They can potentially still go lower. We don't know, but for me, risk to reward looks great. Another one for you miners on the AI front, Chlor AI is another one. The reason we are looking here, again, is potential. Small market cap, number 1080, does have a working marketplace. This is in the AI rendering, right? The GPU marketplace space, which again, it has the AI moniker in the name. Is it really AI? Depends on your viewpoint. In reality, it's a GPU marketplace. $28 million market cap. And again, this is another one that did hit a peak with that little AI run also. Okay, so it's currently at right under 6 cents. Was at 42 cents during that run. Okay, will it happen in March again? Will it be later down the road? Who knows, but this is another one. Did I personally buy any? No. This is one that we did degen on when we were talking about 2023. Back with these runs, this is where we made out. We had a good couple of X's and we bounced. Is it one that can do well? Is it one that you can mine? Sure. My priority is in others just because that's where I'm at, right? So part of the reason, like with Octa, for example, is because I'm mining it with that thing. Flux is one that I do feel more confident in. Again, this late in the game, I'm not trying to speculate as much. I want to go with more winners, even if there's slightly less potential, right? Unless there's a reason I'm into that coin, which, for example, for me, Octa, because I'm still stacking that coin with that thing also, right? So to each their own. Either one can be winners. One of them will outperform the other. Maybe it's Chlor, maybe it's Octa, maybe it's Flux. We don't know. This is where you take your risk to reward and you kind of place your bets, right? Let's go on to the next one. And this is another big narrative. This is Virtual Protocol. This is one I completely missed out on, right? And this is one that I will probably start an allocation now. I'm going to have to see how much I purchase in. I'm waiting to see. Actually, this was my threshold for it to go under $2. It's currently at 1.2 billion. Extremely big market cap. Not a ton of upside, but if this one does some of the huge projections it looked like it can do, it can be crazy, right? If this does become the leader with the AI agents, this one can be big. This one can make it into the top 50, top 40, top 30, who freaking knows, right? This one can definitely be a leader, or it can flop, something can happen and it goes way back, but as it stands right now, it's kind of poised to take the lead. So am I super big into going into it now? Not really, just because I see so many other opportunities with smaller coins. So realistically, it's one that if one of these other small coins pumps in the short term and virtuals is still kind of at a low, I would potentially go into, but for me, there's just so much opportunity with a lot of these other coins. So it is a big narrative though, a lot of things going on, even coins or agents that have been brought on under their protocol have been big, like AIXBT, and there's just a ton of them. If you guys are into the space, you already know what I'm talking about. There's a ton. And then their own little ecosystem is growing. In case you didn't see today, Venice token came out, which is Mark Voorhees coin, which is Venice AI. And this is another one that did get airdropped to people who were holding virtuals or some of these other AI agents. And that was an extremely lucrative airdrop, right? So kind of giving more credence that this is going to be the meta for AI agents potentially. Will there be others? Sure. I kind of placed the bet on one. This is borderline meme-ish, although this is one. It's on AVAX. It's AI 9000. It is one that on X has been retweeted by AVAX and AVAX Foundation, meaning they are in their ear. They are kind of backing them. They are kind of promoting them as being the premier AI agent platform on AVAX. Will it take off? Won't it take off? We don't know, but for the market cap size, it's at currently 23 million, number 1167. We did get in back here. We are still sitting at pretty good profit because I did double down and buy some more on this dip over here. It currently did pump up because they did confirm on their X that they will be doing an airdrop, right? So this is what caused that spike up because it did dip down pretty good. I did buy some. I did hesitate. I was like, at this point, I was going to double down, and I did. And then a few days later is when they made that announcement, and that's what caused it to pump up that same day, right? It literally doubled in price within the matter of a few minutes, just over that tweet. It has been going up and down. It's extremely volatile. I did put in a certain amount. It's currently in profit, but I'm just going to write it out until potentially that mid-March, till that NVIDIA show. Likely exit out unless there's a huge run up here and some of the other ones that I want to accrue do have a massive dip, then I may exit out, right? It did actually almost exit out at this recent pump. Kind of debating. I want to see what this airdrop's about, how it looks, and we'll go from there, right? Some of the other coins that we bought into are fitting our niches that we're already following, and it being DePIN, which I'm a big proponent for, and I think is going to be big because of what? Because of adoption, actual use case. These guys are bringing in actual revenue, actual money. So we're going to see where they go from there. So as we look on the yearly, you can see this is where it's changed quite a bit, right? And this is why this guy is so appealing. Okay, so it's currently at 10 cents, which the last time we were at 10 cents, we got to go back to that November 23 pump. Okay, right before all of this, where it hit a peak of about 60 cents. So even just bear market highs, that's a potential 6x, potentially more. Again, rank number 1025, $30 million market cap. Decent inflation. We'll look at the overall market cap, and it kind of makes sense. It correlates with the price, so definitely good potential upside. It is the leader in their niche for these little car sensors. There are competitors such as SwordChain, but this definitely is years and years ahead, and way ahead just technology-wise, ease of use, adoption, etc., right? So to me, this is also a coin that falls under being a US-based coin. It is founded here. It is headquartered here. So this is another reason, in case we do get those tax-free incentives. Could be a good-looking one there. Another one was Honey, a Hive Mapper token. This one just added more to the position, right? I already have a Hive Mapper, which actually just died on me a few days ago. But this is one we are accruing. Kind of the same thing. DePIN, made in America coin. It is the leader in its niche. There's a lot of mapping competitors, and this by far is definitely the clear winner currently, as is. And again, as we look at the all-time chart, we're looking at price. We're currently at a nickel. We got to go pretty far back to be below that. We were there in October for a little while. We're a little bit under, but you can see if we compare it to bear market prices, did hit a peak of about 30 to 33 cents. And although you look at it like, oh, we can do a 6x, not so easy. So you always want to look at inflation, token unlocks. All those things are very important, right? So another big difference, already look at the market cap, 172 million, rank number 377. So much bigger coin, meaning what? Potentially less upside, right? But to me, again, it's the leader in its space. It's the leader in its niche. And it is one of the leaders in DePIN as a whole. The reason I'm saying it may not have as much upside and why it's important to understand the tokenomics, market cap, understanding market cap, is that's what is going to limit your potential here. So when we look at price, again, we do that comparison, which is something a lot of people do. They'll look at this and they'll look, oh, we were just here a few months ago, which I also do. But I also look at the overall market cap, and that kind of gives you a good idea. Good example here of a coin that has had a ton of unlocks. High inflation. Look at the market cap. Let's look at it now. Very different when you compare the overall price to the current market cap. The overall market cap now is higher than what it was during these times where the price was way higher. Why is that? And it's because there's a lot more coins that were put out into circulation. Again, market cap is just the coins that are in circulation multiplied by the price of each coin. It's the whole market cap, right? So whether it's the current market cap in circulation or FDV, which is fully diluted, meaning if every coin was in circulation, which it's not. These are the types of factors you got to look into because, again, that's going to limit its potential growth. So although common sense would say, oh, okay, and go back up to this, it's going to take a shitload of money for it to do that. It can, and to me, it probably will. Again, I still have confidence because it's going to be the leader in its niche. This is one that I can see breaking the top 100, potentially there. Don't know if I necessarily say that for a lot of these others, but again, they're so small in market cap, they don't have to, right? Even if they just go barely stay in the top 200-300, they're going to do extremely well, right? Like this guy, a lot of room for growth. This Hive Mapper coin, not as much, just because of the market cap being so much higher. Again, at this point, it's 6x higher already. Something to factor in there. Next one we bought a little bit, and again, because it's all-time lows, it's Natix, right? This is another one in that mapping niche, although they are doing things differently from Hive Mapper. And in a way, I kind of like it, right? One of them is that you are able to use your own hardware. You don't have to buy proprietary hardware, using your own phone to map, which is pretty neat. Their latest thing is their VX360. So if you have a Tesla, you'll be able to utilize the cameras on your Tesla to do the mapping, which to me is kind of the bigger thing, right? The downfall with being able to use your own camera is you're not necessarily going to have consistent mapping, right? Depending on the quality of the camera on the phone, it's going to vary. Depending on the overall quality is also going to vary, right? A lot of variables there. When you're using like the Tesla cameras, for example, you're going to have consistent data, consistent flow, consistent quality. A lot of these DePIN things are only going to be as valuable as the data they're able to produce. Okay, so to me, it's a pretty bullish thing. Did end up pre-ordering one. And this is one price action wise, this is lower than our initial buy-in, right? Which we bought in pretty early once it hit mainnet. This is the price we got in. It was all the zeros and 7. That was when I bought in. Haven't really bought since then. It did dip down here. I did regret not getting any when I saw the price come back pretty close to it and was under what our initial buy-in was. I did decide to buy quite a bit more. So I did double down here. So again, it's just risk to reward. Number 1601. This thing does have VC funding. It's in a good position to grow. Has a lot of room. $11 million market cap. Okay, so again, even if it just reaches just these previous price points from not too long ago. I mean, we were at 3x just a few weeks ago, right? So potential upside, potential downside also, right? And I'll just buy a little bit more and continue to scale from there. So another one that's interesting there. Another one on the DePIN front. Again, DePIN, this is arguably the leader in DePIN. They did just have some bad news, and that's a big part of the reason the price action has been hit hard, right? We did have that bad news because they got sued by the SEC, and then on top of that, we had this dip, so it was kind of a double whammy. We haven't seen prices this low since the summertime. Summertime, we're in about $3. We did spend a good month down there, and it's been up only from there. Not up only, but it's been up significantly from there, hovering between $5 to $10 essentially since then, right? So it's been quite a while since we've seen these kind of prices, which for me, it did decide to add quite a bit, right? It is one we are already accruing through our Helium mobile devices, and this is one, again, it's fitting the bill. It's the leader in its niche. DePIN to me is going to be a big thing, and it's a made-in-U.S. coin. And with the current administration, I'm personally not too worried about the SEC lawsuit. So for me, when I see things like that, it's not affecting the coin in itself. They're still continuing to do their thing. They're still continuing to grow. Good time to add a little bit more, right? It isn't one we bought much of. We did buy a decent amount, but it's not the type of deals that we saw like earlier on, like last year, when we're in the dollar range, right? This is when it was lucrative. Even with the little IoT device, right? When it first went to Solana, we were making a whole HNT a day back then, right? With the little IoT guy, which everybody wanted to get butthurt about and get so emotional about. It's been an extreme gainer, right? Because during those times, again, we did it recently, not too long ago, we're at like $9-10. Okay, so during those times when everybody's bitching and moaning, from just running a device that uses 5 watts that you already had, made $10 throughout those times. And that's at those prices, right? We're speculating that there's good potential here, which in reality there kind of is, right? Arguably a lot more potential now, especially on the mobile side. Just back on the last one, which obviously not as bullish. If we look at the overall market cap, it did hit a high of right over 5 billion. Okay, so 5 billion. Currently we're at 638 million, right? So potentially not a massive gainer, between 7 to 8x. Could potentially do even more than that. Could go to 20, 25, $30. I could see that. Could potentially even go beyond that. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But for me, the risk to reward looks good. And again, it's one I'm already stacking. US coin, leader in the space, right? Those are the types of things we are looking for currently. One that I did want to stack and unfortunately didn't because the price action has been extremely good, right? We were able to buy a little bit in like the 20-cent range. We made our good purchases back here, but look at this chart. This is something that it should be a standout when the entire market is dumping, especially these past 30 days. And this thing is at all-time highs. That should kind of be a standout. That should be something you may want to look at, want to consider, because it's kind of doing its own thing, right? So when I see things like this is kind of what makes me a little bit more bullish. Market cap currently is at 90 million now, ranked number 553. And it's just because it's gone up a good amount, right? It's pretty much in its all-time high range. We go to the max chart, and yeah, it's beating those previous peaks, right? So this is one definitely bullish on. It's one that I bought some. I am stacking with the GeoNet. It is up. It is doing its thing, and it is earning extremely well. Extremely happy with this one. Again, a lot of potential upside still. This one has VC backing, a lot of use case, bringing in real-world revenue. A lot of good things here, right? So again, these are the types of things we are looking for. And then now, this just kind of changes things because I did kind of finish certain bags now. So like my Demo bag is where I wanted it. My Hive Mapper bag is where I wanted it. Natix is where I wanted it. So now this is the time where we add new positions to kind of look at things. Maybe do I want to add more into those? We're going to have to wait and see. I want to see how the rest of this dip plays out. Because again, we're still not out in the clear. There are potentials, but currently, at least for now, I did start another flex position, slowly adding in some Octa. That's hard for me to add in right now, but I think I may actually go into virtuals a little bit. We're going to have to wait and see. But this is where the planning takes place. So I did execute on those parts, but now I have to re-look at things, reevaluate. Look at those goal numbers, see where we're at, see if I want to take more risk, or if now I want to not necessarily de-risk, but the coins I add from here being higher confidence plays, adding more AVAX, adding more Caspa, or adding something like this, that's something more narrative-based, or continue on the degen side, right? We're going to have to see how things play out. Gonna give it another few days to kind of see where prices go, right? Because again, this may not be the low. It is potential that Demo goes down half of where it's at, goes down to a nickel. Hive Mapper goes down to 2 cents. Like, there's still potential for these things to go down, right? But already, typically, my threshold, to give you different examples, usually 15-20%. If it goes down another 20% from a relatively big dip, I'll typically add a little bit more, right? And then from there, I'll kind of see, like, okay, do I want to go bigger? Do I want to go not necessarily all in, but a big chunk in? Like, this is where it pays to have these degen plays, right? Have these like little meme coins where like quick little 2-3x's, and then roll them into things like this. Roll them into other coins. Roll them into whatever you're looking at, right? And this has just been My strategy has just been how I've been able to grow. Because again, I was just talking to somebody earlier talking about that. To you should focus on mining or you should focus on buying. If I would have focused solely on mining, I would be like at a fraction of where my stack is now currently, right? Mining plays a big part into it. It plays a huge part on the DCA front because it's consistent DCAing, and I'm adding those positions, and it's giving me insight into which coins to speculate on. But the reality is, a lot of my gains have been buying those mineable coins, buying those coins that I'm following, buying those coins that I'm into, right? Like if it wasn't for me buying Caspa so early on, me buying Solana when everybody was shitting on it when it was at $10, I wouldn't be anywhere near the position where I am. So that's why I'm a big proponent for taking advantage of everything. Don't put yourself in that, oh, I'm a miner, that's all I can do. Do it all if you're into it, right? This doesn't mean that like, oh, okay, I'll just buy some stuff now. You got to be into it, right? You have to be in the trenches. You got to study these things. You got to look at these things, look at narratives. Again, it's easy for me to say because I've already been through the trenches, been doing this thing been in this market now for 4 years, heavy in this bear market with a consistent plan that we just executed, right? So that's kind of what's kept me sane and kept me like going through these things is like following my gut, following my goals, and just executing, right? That's why I'm a huge proponent for setting goals, guys. Set goal amounts. What is your overall goal you want to do? What are you trying to do? What do you accomplish? What is your overall budget, right? And as long as you've been in the game, you've been wanting to participate, there's been ways to do it, even without capital, right? There's been so many like airdrop opportunities, even things like Natix where you don't need to buy any hardware. You're just hitting a button, putting the thing on your dash, and you're able to earn tokens. That Grass airdrop, the Jupe airdrop, again, those are all things that didn't have to put any capital, right? Jupe was just earned from essentially IoT devices, my Helium wallet, flipping those things using the actual exchange. That Grass airdrop, that IO.net airdrop, all those Cosmos airdrops, Dimension, Saga, Celestia, so many things, guys. So many ways to do this thing. Again, by limiting yourself, though, you're putting a damper on your potential. You are limiting yourself big time. There's been so many opportunities, and there's going to continue to be. This is the other big thing. I'm always seeing people like, oh, man, it's too late. I'll do it. There's still a ton of opportunities everywhere. Even this Grass thing, the point system is still going. There's going to be another airdrop. Like, it's everywhere, guys, but you have to put in the work. You have to put in the research. You have to dive into those projects. Okay, I wish I had all the time in the world to cover everything I'm into, but there's not enough time in the day because I'm literally in everything. Meme coins, Web3 gaming, all of that, right? This is why we've been able to take so many opportunities from just learning, getting into the ecosystems, and being into it, right? I think a big part of it is also just really treating this as a hobby. Like, yes, for me, I try to run it like as a business, kind of somewhat, but in reality, the reason I'm so into it is because I'm genuinely into it. I'm genuinely interested in it. Do I believe a lot of this stuff? Not really. In many cases, 99.9% of all crypto is a freaking Ponzi. That's the reality of it. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off. That's the reality of it, right? You have to have your viewpoints. I have my viewpoints. To me, it's all speculation, right? That's why I find it funny or find it like not kind of funny, almost like sad sometimes when people get so into these projects and they devote so much time that this is going to be the next Bitcoin and they go in and they get rugged, right? I've seen it time and time again. Like, especially going through this whole bear market, seeing what happened last cycle, everybody into ETH and NFTs and seeing those communities completely shit themselves and die. Like, it's a learning lesson, right? But I like to learn from other people's mistakes to not repeat those, right? So again, everybody's going to have their viewpoints. My viewpoint is drastically different from a lot of the other miners, right? And that's big reason I wanted to make content, right? Just to blab about these things, because I know a lot of you guys see it the same way. I chat with a lot of you guys frequently talking about non-mining things or how to relay that mining revenue into something else, right? So a lot of opportunities out there, guys. Take advantage when there are these dips, whether you're buying them or mining them, right? You can also mine these dips, because then what happens? A lot of people unplug. Follow the trends. Look at the hash rates. Which ones are going to be narratives? Like if you're going to follow the AI narrative, Flux may be one you want to mine short term. Chlor would be another one. If it's profitable for you, obviously depending on your electric rate. Now with my shitty ass electric rate, not doable, right? Or it's doable, but it's just more beneficial to buy the coin, right? And that's the thing you got to prepare for. Like even with me, it's something we've made videos talking about that. To expect one day for your electric rate to be at this rate. What are you going to do about it? My plan was already set. Like for me, it happened. Okay, go into motion. It's easy for me because I already have it planned out, right? I've already thought about these things, thought about the possibility, and just deal with it. Just deal with it. Just continue. Doesn't mean like, oh, it's all over. I'm gonna unplug. I'm dead. No, we're just gonna continue stacking. Unplug whatever's unprofitable if it's significantly unprofitable, and use that same money that I was putting towards electric to buy the coins, right? Either continue to buy that coin, or go into new positions, which is what we're kind of researching here, right? So a lot of this is just, I'm literally just sharing what I'm doing, right? So I don't script a lot of these things in case you don't notice. I'm literally looking at these things, some cases real time, or I just looked at it right prior, and it's kind of just fresh in my head, and it's literally just how I view the market. Will it be the best way to do it? We don't know. Will it be the worst way? Could be, right? In the end, we don't know. All I know is what I've been able to do, what I've been able to accomplish, wouldn't be done without doing what I'm doing here, which is researching, looking at these tokens, looking at these narratives, buying the coin, mining the coin, staking the coins, DeFi, airdrop farming, whatever. Okay? I know it's a long ranty one, guys, but these I just like to give the whole thought process so you can see what's going on behind it and not just saying, oh, buy this, buy that, because that's not what the point of these videos is, right? The point is to look at the broader picture, look at narratives, look at whatever your niche is, right? I'm big into DePIN, I'm big into these things, so that's why I focus here. But if you're bigger into gaming, DeFi, or Bitcoin, whatever it is, right? Because there's going to be a lot of coins under those projects also, right? Like I'm big into Solana. There's a lot of Solana coins that are doing extremely well right now. You're into AVAX, you're into all these things. Whatever you're into, find your niche, get in there, learn about it, stack these coins, make that money in these last few months that we really have to stack and really gain. Okay, don't throw away this opportunity. There is still time. I'm a great example of this, right? You guys know I'm a small at-home guy. I just budget my electric. Been able to scale this thing and grow this thing, mining now for 4 years, into something that's gonna be way bigger than what I thought a year and a half, 2 years ago was. From doing the research, putting in the work, and just doing the damn thing, right? So hopefully you guys are doing the same. Hopefully it's gonna be extremely, extremely lucrative, as it already has been for me, and hopefully we just continue to grow. And if you're unable to, or you haven't been able to take advantage, hopefully you're just learning along the way. Maybe apply some of these things next cycle, right? Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think of the situation? Do you guys see the same thing? Do you guys buy dips? Do you guys mine the dips? Do you guys not let it affect you? You're just DCAing? That's another easier way to do it also, right? Just not even think about it. Let these things run. Pay your electric. And you can be done with that also, right? But again, just certain things are going to get you to where you want to be faster, right? So just something to think about, guys. But let me know in the comments, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I am out.